Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest Formula One news from this week is about the stupidity of Felipe Massa. Now, Felipe Massa, who has zero Formula One World Championships, by the way, has been convinced by his lawyers to sue FIA, Formula One management, and Bernie Ecclestone for 80 million US dollars. And I'm not making any of this shit up, for something happened 17 years ago. Again, not making any of this up. Felipe Massa is trying to overturn the result of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, the crash gate situation. Nelson Piquet Jr. deliberately crashed his car, which allowed Fernando Alonso to pit under the safety car and eventually win that race. That scandal. Felipe Massa's objective is to overturn the results of that Grand Prix and get acknowledged as the rightful champion of 2008. Just keep on hearing, okay? Just keep on hearing the ridiculous claims and demands, not claims, demands of Felipe Massa. So the first demand is to overturn the results of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, be declared and acknowledged as the rightful champion of the 2008 Formula One season, get $80 million in damage for lost sponsorship and all that type of stuff. So these are the ridiculous and retarded claims, not claims, demands made forward by Felipe Massa's legal team. And the basis of all of this is something that Bernie Ecclestone, who is 95 years old, by the way, said 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, Bernie Ecclestone said that we knew about the Crashgate scandal, but we chose not to talk about it to save Formula One from public scrutiny and bad PR. Apparently, that's what Bernie Ecclestone said 3 years ago. Apparently. The reason why I said apparently, because in court, when the trial was actually happening, Bernie Ecclestone said, I don't remember saying shit like that. He is 95. So the entire basis of Felipe Massa's $80 million lawsuit is Bernie Ecclestone's alleged comment about his knowledge of the 2008 Crashgate scandal. You know what? So Felipe Massa is claiming that if Bernie Ecclestone knew in 2008 immediately that the Crashgate scandal happened, and they chose not to intervene and overturn the results of that Grand Prix or whatever, then it means that I got fucked over in the championship fight, right? Because Felipe, if the Singapore Grand Prix result get invalidated, which is not going to happen, but let's assume, in the wet dreams of Felipe Massa, the results of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix will be invalidated. If that happens, then Lewis Hamilton, who finished P3 in that race, will lose all the points, and this will give the championship to Felipe Massa. Like 2008 Formula One World Champion will be Felipe Massa, who has 0 World Championships right now. He will have 1 World Championship. And the ridiculousness relies on that single thread, as I just mentioned. So allegedly, Bernie Ecclestone said to some F1 insider, there's no recording of this, no official documentation, no approved journalism or anything like that. Bernie Ecclestone, in a private conversation to some F1 insider, said that I knew about the 2008 Crashgate scandal, but I chose not to intervene to protect Formula One from reputational damage. And Felipe Massa is saying that had he spoken then I would have become world champion. That's basically what he's saying. Now comes the crazy lawsuit, right? The lawsuit. I just already told you about the 3 demands. His first demand is to get $80 million, which is good fucking luck to get that money out of Bernie Ecclestone or Formula One management or the FIA. The FIA's president is Mohammed bin Sulayem. He is the CEO of levying ludicrous fines, so good luck getting a dime out of him. The second claim is to be declared as the rightful champion of the 2008 Formula One season, which is, guy needs to move on. Like, that's all I can say about that. The problem with Felipe Massa is that he didn't do anything else after he left Formula One. and he just held on to what could have been, and that's that. A lot of people after Formula One, like Daniel Ricciardo, for example, he's a recent example, they are moving on and doing new projects. Sebastian Vettel, I mean, he's a 4-time world champion. I'm talking about non-champions. All of the Formula One guys who didn't even have much success in Formula One are moving on to do different things. Nicholas Latifi, the GOAT. He left Formula One, didn't have much success in it, left motorsports, is now doing MBA. I mean, he has done MBA in London Business School. I don't know what he is doing right now. Nobody does. When he updates his social media, I guess we will know then. So the second claim is that he deserves to be declared as the rightful champion of the 2008 Formula One season, which is ridiculous. Guy needs to move on. And the third one, I forgot the third claim. What is the third thing that he wanted? Overturn the results of the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix. 17 years, so many things have happened. Lewis Hamilton went on to become a legend, and the craziest thing is this lawsuit of the Brazilian is happening right before the Brazilian Grand Prix 2025. And if you go and check Formula One's official YouTube channel, they just uploaded the last 15 laps of 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. To generate the excitement, of course, but at the same time, throw some salt on Massa's injury. And I'm pretty sure this is something personally done by Bernie Ecclestone. Bernie Ecclestone is like, this piece of shit. I mean, Bernie Ecclestone's mind, Felipe Massa is the piece of shit, right? Because Felipe is suing Bernie. And Bernie is like, this piece of shit is trying to tarnish my legacy. You know what we're gonna do? Let's upload the last 15 laps of the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix, where this piece of shit was the world champion for 38 seconds, and then we will see the happiness in his family's face vanish when Lewis Hamilton crosses the line after overtaking Timo Glock. That's what happened. Maybe I am a conspiracy theorist and I believe in these random things, but that's 100% happened. So if you go to Formula One's YouTube channel, go ahead and enjoy the last 15 laps of the race. It's phenomenal. I've watched it twice. Also, this is the 44th week of 2025. Ain't that insane? Ain't that a coincidence? Week number 44, right before the Brazilian Grand Prix, Felipe Massa, who is a Brazilian, his trial is happening. Brazilian Grand Prix is almost a week away now. Max Verstappen has a special helmet for Brazilian Grand Prix. The reason why I mentioned Max Verstappen, because Max Verstappen and Nelson Piquet Jr. are practically family, and Nelson Piquet Jr. is inadvertently, I fucked up the pronunciation of the word, Nelson Piquet Jr. is related to the 2008 Singapore Crashgate situation. All of this is just funny to me, that how dumb Felipe Massa can be to get convinced by his lawyers. And the only winners in this entire exchange, obviously FIA is not going to give a dime. Mohammed bin Sulayem is going to tell him to fuck off because it happened 17 years ago. And the sport has changed a lot and it's been a long time. It's nearly 2 decades. That's the first reason he's not getting a dime. The second reason is Bernie Ecclestone clearly said, I don't remember saying anything like that. Bernie Ecclestone clearly said in the court of law that he doesn't remember making a statement about knowing about the Crashgate in 2008 right after it happened. So the entire foundation of Felipe Massa's lawsuit, which rested on the viability of that statement, has gone. So now he's fucked. And now the only thing that's happening is he's going to get ridiculed even more. People are going to call him names. I am people. And people are going to make fun of him for not moving on. I am people again, and a lot of people on the internet are also agreeing with this thing. Like, dude needs to move on. Whatever happened. The sport is not perfect. The stewards are certainly not perfect. We know this from Grand Prix after Grand Prix. The most recent race in Mexico, Liam Lawson could have killed a couple of marshals. And these motherfuckers didn't put out a VSC or an SC or nothing like that. And when the car was almost taken outside of the road, they paused the action and prevented Max Verstappen who is family members with Nelson Piquet Jr. to overtake Charles Leclerc for P2. I can go on and on about this. The point that I'm trying to make is that Felipe Massa needs to move on. He needs to go to Mexico, do some drugs, fuck some hoes, attend some parties, and cry in front of the people by saying that the Europeans fucked him. Because that's the only thing he needs to do. He needs to let it out, air the emotion, and just enjoy life for what it is, because things could have been much, much worse. He could have been a Red Bull driver who has been, consumed by the greatness of Max Verstappen. That didn't happen. He could have had injuries. Back in the day, Formula One was still not that safe. There could have been a lot of horrible things. He was a Ferrari driver who was runners-up in the Formula One World Championship. Still okay, still great. You have to be happy with whatever has happened. You need to find some closure in that. Life isn't perfect, life isn't fair, and you need to move the fuck on. So anyway, the only winners of this lawsuit are the lawyers of Felipe Massa, because somehow, with an apparent statement which probably won't hold any kind of legal weightage, and it didn't, as we know, because Bernie Ecclestone directly said that I don't remember making that statement, Felipe Massa's lawyers convinced him to go ahead with this lawsuit. The only people who are getting rich are them. The only people who are going to win here are them, which just goes to show that Felipe Massa is a dumb motherfucker. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.